Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Esports bringing you another 1v1 Starcraft 2 cast today. This is Game 4 in the best of 3 between WhiteRa and Game of Drones, with Game of Drones taking the first 2 games, WhiteRa taking the third, and here we are in the 4th game. Excellent. So, this is Daybreak, and obviously if you don't know who WhiteRa and Game of Drones are and you watch Starcraft, that is very unfortunate for you, so let's just do a quick overview. WhiteRa is a very, very talented European player. He's one of the oldest actually, esports kind of professional players in the world. He plays Protoss primarily. He's known for his very, very creative plays. He's a very good guy. And, oh yeah, he's extremely manner, very polite. Just a really, really nice guy. You'll notice that he always says, good game, well played at the end of his matches. You know, he is just a very, very nice guy. He's also got a nice line of branded equipment for himself, which is also very, very nice. Okay, and then we have Game of Drones, who is Liquid TLO, if you don't know, who is part of Team Liquid. A very, very good player indeed. One that I've always really liked. He does very, very creative builds. I mean, we have actually seen a Nidus Worm in this best of 7 so far. So, there we go. Nidus Worm says it all. WhiteRa, this might be the only game that WhiteRa hasn't actually blocked off a hatchery from Game of Drones, but it doesn't look like the hatchery is going to go down just right now. And the probe is actually going to be just sitting there blocking this hatch. It does look like maybe the expansion will go down here in the 3rd position anyway. Perhaps Game of Drones is... yeah, it does. It goes down in the 3rd position, so WhiteRa might be wondering what the hell is going on. Because the drone has not actually come to build right now. And it might make WhiteRa think that TLO is being more aggressive than he is. Whereas in fact, he is quite literally just looking for... the hatchery, and it does look like he is actually going to be able to find it. There we go. So WhiteRa does actually know that the hatchery is there now and not in the standard natural position of this match, which is Daybreak. I believe it's the Ellie edition. I believe. Yeah, it's the League edition. Yeah, nice. And here we are. It does have this standard looking block in from WhiteRa coming down right now. A forge and a gateway coming down straight away, just like we've seen in most of the other games so far in this friendly series, which is a best of 7. The rush distance on this map is very large indeed. I mean, I'm following it right now. Oh, I've nearly run out of space on my mouse mat. There we go. So that's the rush distance. I mean, and obviously I can pan faster than most units can move, so, you know, doesn't like that photon count, isn't actually going to get the kill just yet, so this probe is going to have to jump for it. No, the probe isn't going to jump for it. Oh well. It'd be hilarious if probes could jump on the back of Overlords. Okay, so we do have the normal expansion going down right now for Game of Drones as well. And it's an expansion that he should have taken, but I suppose he's just pretty much fed up of WhiteRa nicking or delaying his expansions by going back and forth with a probe here in the natural instead. So he's just decided, you know what, screw it, I'll put it in the 3rd. I was going to build there anyway, it's fine. And that is that. Ooh, let me just set up, there we go. Oh man, I'm so lazy, it's ridiculous. Ugh. Ugh. So weapons +1 on the way for WhiteRa right now, and that is fairly standard because most Protoss players do like to get their weapons up pretty quickly against Zerg players. It does increase the effectiveness of Zealots against Zerglings and Stalkers against Roaches, and it just generally makes the Protoss army a little bit tougher, a little bit more resilient, you know, and a little bit harder to kill. Quite a nice bit of micro there from Game of Drones, allowing his Lings to get away from that Zealot. It doesn't like this Ling will be just legging it straight away. The Automatron here is just shocked to see what has happened as a Zergling running past him with the Zealot in tow. A Stargate coming down right now for WhiteRa as well, and as I say previously, Stargates are becoming pretty commonplace, and there's actually 2 Stargates as well going down for WhiteRa as well. Usually you'd only see 1 Stargate at the moment, spawning a couple of Void Rays, maybe some Phoenix as well, but nope, it is 2 today, and that is absolutely fine. WhiteRa, of course, well within his rights to get as many Void Rays as he likes. By the way, you may have noticed that I've been yawning a little. I'm really sorry about that. Me and Phonics only heard about this game when we were at the I-45 festival, and quite literally I haven't had any sleep because I've done the week in Esports, which is our little news thingy that we do, and I thought that I should quickly cast this because obviously you want to cast things nearer enough the time they have happened just to keep them fresh and exciting. And it doesn't look like these Void Rays will be heading... Oh, they're Phoenixes. Will be head... Oh, and a Void Ray. I should really look at the production tab. We'll be heading straight out now and just going to kill off this Overlord pretty quick style. And there we go. The Overlord does look, unfortunately, like... Boom! He's going to perish. And just fall into space. His guts will be orbiting that planet for millions and millions of years. Bad news for him. Okay, so it does look like we do have Game of Drones preparing a little bit for some airplay here from WhiteRa. WhiteRa also getting his 1+ weapons as well. It doesn't look like maybe he's going the same sort of build as we saw in the first game, where Game of Drones did win pretty effectively against WhiteRa. If you didn't see it, just have a look at it. It's pretty fun to watch. And it does look like this Void Ray will be charging up right now. Oh, he could have actually gone after that Spore Crawler, but I don't think the Spore Crawler would have gone down in time. Also, with help from the Queen, that would have been a very dangerous situation for a Void Ray to be in. Anyway, you don't want to risk those Void Rays. They are quite expensive, but Zealot Void Ray is a really annoying thing to deal with as a Zerg player. Really hard thing actually to deal with. Indeed, it does actually look like Game of Drones will see this ground attack that is coming round up in his 3rd base. Does look like it will be travelling in to go and do quite a lot of damage. Quite a lot of Zerglings on the way right now for the other attack. This is happening here in the 3rd of Game of Drones, and this is really nice kind of pincer attack from WhiteRa right now. Really nice. Oh, and a force field there could have done a hell of a lot of damage trapping those Queens in there with those drones, but instead no, the Queens get graviton beamed up into the air, unable to do anything about the fact that they're completely trapped, and that is a crushing blow, a horrible crushing blow for Game of Drones to lose that many Queens. There are quite a lot more Queens going on here right now. I might do a little bit of MLG camera work just to kind of illustrate what is actually going on underneath all of those Overlords, which did just get moved away because it was all looking a little bit too hectic for my liking. Oh, there we go. These Zealots do want to focus down the Spore Crawler though, let some of the air units move in and do a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, these Zerglings look like it could be too much, and here are some Infestors out on the field. It doesn't look like this is perhaps even TLO's standard response to aggressive airplay like this. These Infestors are going to want to get 75 energy before they actually do anything, such as a fungal growth. But wow, that's a lot of Zealots coming in for WhiteRa right now, and this is a really dangerous situation to be in if you're Liquid TLO. I mean, quite a lot of these drones do look like they'll probably get taken out, but I mean, the infested Terrans here are really doing quite a lot to stop that actually from happening, and this crazy push that is happening from WhiteRa does look like it is about to sort of dissipate, and it does look like Colossus's mighty feat, and it does look like it does look like the Infestors are actually going to be coming out here and doing a lot of damage while there is an attack going round in the front. So also worthwhile to keep in mind there's quite a lot of photon cannons. Well, there's one photon cannon there which will actually spot the Infestors anyway. Oh, and look at that. Awesome, and there are the infested Terrans coming down. It does look like maybe they'll be able to focus down the Nexus before WhiteRa's army gets there in order to stop this from actually happening. And there we go, kind of a bluff from Game of Drones means that the Nexus from WhiteRa goes down very quickly indeed. Unfortunately for him, Ouch. That is all WhiteRa's Nexus wrote, indeed. Primarily because Game of Thrones is something very clever. He kind of feigned an attack in the front whilst letting the Infestors do their business in WhiteRa's third base, and that is an absolute kind of killer stealthy pincer movement. Ouch. And there is a fungal growth going down on those Phoenix right now. Another fungal growth right about now would be absolutely diabolical, but it doesn't actually look like it's going to go down at any point soon. I can't actually see a Infestor in range, but there are Corruptors now chasing the Phoenix, so the Phoenix are going to want to have to be really, really careful. WhiteRa's army is actually looking quite nice, you know, it's not looking too bad at all. We do have Zerg Flyer Carapace level 2 on the way, so it does look like perhaps we will see, yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones is actually getting his hive out right now, so it does look like maybe we're going to see quite a lot of Broodlords on the field, and Broodlords are, well, they're awesome, they're really, really good units. Really dangerous, because obviously when they shoot the Broodlings do extra damage when they hit their target as well, which isn't nice for anything involved, really. Okay, so this Protoss army does look like it's going to be moving around the top and then to the right of this map. They will... Ooh, they kind of, I think, maybe saw that roach, but the question is, have they actually seen the Infestors that are on their way up here as well? And they're going to be doing pretty much what they did again. Is this really going to happen again? No, it is not. WhiteRa has managed to save his Nexus for now. Oh, boom. And down goes a lot of stuff. WhiteRa being careful not to be taken out by those Infestors all over again. So that would be a shocking and tragic thing indeed. I mean, Game of Thrones' Infestor play has always been really, really good. So, you know, it's always fun to watch. It's always fun to watch. There's never a time where Game of Thrones' Infestor play isn't fun to watch. And there we go. We do have the Great Aspire on the way for Game of Thrones right now, and it does look like these Corruptors. Goodness me, Constructors? What am I saying? What am I saying? Corruptors. These Corruptors will be turning into Broodlords pretty soon. Or as some people like to call them, Constructors. Of course. That's definitely not a moronic thing what I just said there. Dear oh dear, oh dear oh dear. I mean, it does look like Game of Thrones is actually beginning to stockpile minerals a little bit, because you need to. 150 minerals, 150 gas to make a Broodlord with. That is what you need. So we have 1,000 minerals and nearly 2,000 gas from Game of Thrones right now, and that is enough to make these into mighty and proud Broodlords all round. So that is something that we will have to see. Oh, I think he might have cancelled his Flyer Carapace because, well, he doesn't have it anymore, and I think he was definitely researching it at one point, but hey ho, there we are. And here we go, we do have a lot of Broodlords coming out on the field right now. He can afford to get another one somewhere, but he's just spent all of that money with his amazing macro, which most players do actually hold. I mean, wow, do these guys play fast. It is actually kind of ridiculous. And here we go. Here is the thing that will cause a lot of damage, basically. Let's read the description for Swarm Seeds. The Broodlord shoots broodlings at its target. A broodling is a small creature that can attack ground units. There we go. Swarm Seeds, that's what it's called. Yeah, man, that's cool. I can't wait for Heart of the Swarm. It's going to be amazing. These Zealots here have actually found a hatchery that they will be taking out pretty quickly, but unfortunately Zealots can't jump, so they will not be able to take down these Broodlords just yet. WhiteRa has actually expanded into a 4th location as well, which is good because he will need to do this in order to stay in the game. Effectively, Flyer Carapace 2 has been restarted and is re-going, and it doesn't look like WhiteRa is actually going for some sort of Archon toilet. Again, he does have a mothership on the way and 2 Archons as well as his plus 3 armor level and his plus 1 shields level. Yep, so it doesn't look like these. I'm going to go ahead and guess they're going to be made into Archons as well. Standard response from WhiteRa, Zerg air units, go Archons. Fair enough, Archons are very, very good units. They do a monstrous amount of damage. Their splash is fantastic. They're very, very difficult to kill. Yeah, they're good units. They are all-round good units. They're kind of like what Immortals would be if Immortals had splash damage. There we go. I think that's correct. Yeah, but I think Immortals have a slightly longer range than Archons anyway. Wow, so this massive, massive Zerg army, which is, by the way, at maximum capacity, does actually look like it's going to be doing something very, very soon and moving out very soon to go and destroy, if not very much damage, this WhiteRa's Protoss army. Oh, you can see what happens. I mean, you know, both armies looking equally as terrifying, but the difference is one of these armies is stealth. WhiteRa destroying his own rocks there, making sure the mobility of his army isn't hindered. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, and all of these things don't want to be going up here. We have 2+ weapons armor on the way for WhiteRa, and 2+ shields. It does actually look like he is really, really gunning for it this time. Game of Drones has somehow managed to get 209 supply out of 200. Oh, probably by going for his extra Broodlords. I think Broodlords actually add supply on top of the Corruptors. I believe that's how he's done that. Oh, or maybe by doing reactor tricks. I have no idea how he's done that. If anyone can tell me how that has happened, please tell me. I have honestly no idea how Game of Drones has managed to get 9 extra supply than his opponent. It's probably something to do with reactors, but I'm not sure. So here we go, we do have Game of Drones revealing his hand right now, and his hand is that of lots and lots of Broodlords. We do have a major attack coming down here in the south. While Game of Drones' army is slightly out of position, this major attack is going to come up here and absolutely ruin this Zerg base. Unfortunately, that puts the supply back down to 200, so I am no longer confused. And that is a lot of Broodlords. Oh my god, all those Broodlords are going to go straight into that vortex! And wow, all that needs to happen now is the Archons just flood into the vortex, and there's going to be a lot of dead Broodlord when they come out. Unfortunately, quite a lot of the Broodlords didn't actually make it in there. Only a select few actually did. And soon we're going to see carnage. Oh, carnage right there as the Archon toilet emerges. But I mean, all in all, these Stalkers are a little bit out of position. They blink further into the battle. These Archons are really, really doing their fight quite nicely. WhiteRa really wants to blink underneath these Broodlords and try and stop them from escaping. But at the moment, this does definitely look like WhiteRa's... well, it did for a second there look like WhiteRa's battle. It doesn't look like WhiteRa will actually be pulling out right now. Quite a lot of damage done. I definitely think that was worthwhile. But wow, more Broodlords on the way right now for Game of Drones, and this is really, really heating up. Really, really intense, fun stuff to watch. I mean, Game of Drones has lost a major base now. He does need to make something happen to kind of balance this out quite nicely. WhiteRa has been mostly on top of him and not letting him expand anywhere most of this game so far. Oh, and here we go. The problem with Broodlords is they are very, very slow indeed. WhiteRa getting another mothership out as well. I mean, if WhiteRa were to get an Archon toilet underneath all of these and shove all of the Archons in there, blow up all of these Broodlords, this army would be a walkover for WhiteRa's heavy Archon army at the moment. It would be an absolute walkover, so that is something that, you know, that he would probably like to see. That Archon very cruelly one-shotting that Zergling right there. But I mean, that's just a testament to how good Archons actually are. I mean, he's got 21 kills. And here we go, we do have a big Zerg attack coming in from Game of Drones right now. And wow, lots and lots of changelings, like a little army of changelings from Liquid TLO right there. That's awesome. I can't imagine anything slightly more terrifying than that. It doesn't look like these Archons will probably take down the Zerglings quite quickly, but I don't mean the Zerglings don't essentially respawn instantly all the time. That is the job of the Broodlings, to get fired out of the Broodlums, as we read earlier. And, ooh, those Stalkers just managing to blink away, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough, unfortunately. So, absolute carnage out as WhiteRa's Nexus does actually go down at this point in time to Broodlord Fire. I suppose you could call it Broodlord Fire. Either that or just Broodlord's kind of spitting units out into the map. And just quite a lot of changelings on the map at the moment. Which is pretty funny, really. Oh, nasty fungal growths going down on the top of those void rays as well, which will help the Corruptors clear them up nice and quick like. I mean, this is really, really horrible composition for WhiteRa to be able to deal with, and that's the problem. I'm not actually sure he is able to effectively deal with this. I mean, he has... Okay, there's quite a lot of real zealots here. And quite a lot of Stalkers, but I'm just not sure it's going to be enough, really. WhiteRa undersupplied by 9-3 at the moment. It does look like this game will possibly just go straight to Game of Drones unless WhiteRa can do something incredibly creative. I mean, he is actually probably going to be able to take out this hatchery right now from Game of Drones if he focuses it down. But the Zealots are turning around and just slaughtering everything else that is in their path anyway. Some Zerg Roaches join the fray, and it doesn't look like that will be the end of that. Well, it will now anyway, with a nice fungal growth going down as well. But a nice Archon joining the fray as well. I mean, Game of Drones must be running very, very low on minerals right now. I mean, he is essentially mined out of everything. Even though both players are essentially long-distance mining at this point in time, it is not necessarily over for either of them. WhiteRa just needs to get really, really tight on these Broodlords, really needs to get underneath them and stop them from actually doing so much damage to him, because they are seriously dangerous at the moment. One thing is, though, Game of Thrones actually has a mining base at the moment, while WhiteRa doesn't just yet. He is planning to get one up. He has expanded for one, and it is really a skin of the teeth match at the moment. Game of Thrones has a lot more supply. I mean, he does have quite a lot of Broodlords on the map, and they are very, very dangerous units indeed. And it does look like maybe he's going to move out and go and do quite a lot of damage right now. Oh, and there's the mothership going down as well. It does look like it is actually just going to go straight down and not actually be able to do any sort of vortex or anything like that. And with that, WhiteRa GG's, well played, and so does Game of Thrones. They both lead the game. Very, very nice match there. For a minute I was wondering how it was going to end, if it was going to be left holding in the balance. I mean, because Game of Thrones doesn't have any minerals left of it. His natural, his main, his thirds, almost running out. And really, I mean, if WhiteRa could have denied the fourth, that could have been quite a massive blow. But hey-ho, that is that. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. And I will see you in the next game. Cheers. Bye-bye.